And good day. My name is Keon Brown. This is NCCU Live. Thank you so much for watching. We're so grateful for you to have you here today. Today is March 24th, 2021. It is a great day to be an NCCU Eagle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a great show for you today. We're jam-packed today, so we're going to get right in. Now, the Alumni Association is very, very amazing. They have some amazing alumni who do really great work. So I want to bring in two powerful women, specifically Women's History Month, that have done some amazing work. Let's bring LaRue in. Hello, LaRue. How are you? You there?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for being here. This is alumnus LaRue Cunningham. She is Volunteer of the Year. Congratulations, congratulations. Volunteer of the Year.
Thank you.
Look, this alumnus LaRue has our own production and our own audience over there. Uh, con- Congratulations. Talk about where you're from, what you do or what you did, and what it's like volunteering for the Alumni Association.
Well, originally, when I was a student at North Carolina College, I did graduate from the university. I am from a little place called Virgilina, Virginia, but I lived on the North Carolina side of Virgilina, and it became a good conversation piece because my classmates would ask me or tell me, "You don't sound like you're from the Virgin Islands." I said, "No, Virgilina." But it did pose somewhat of a problem because North Carolina College wanted to charge me out of state fees. But now I reside in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Being a volunteer is in the blood. Um, I am a retiree, so I do try to utilize my time in truth and service. I try to serve others. I work through my sorority, which is Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I was initiated at North Carolina Central into the Alpha Chi chapter. I was the president of that line of the Unique 23 in the fall of 1967.
Wow.
Some of the activities I'm involved in are making little dresses through the sorority for little girls in underdeveloped countries. Currently, we are making little shirts for little boys because we had sort of neglected the little boys. And I have in my possession right now 225 little shirts for little boys to be posted very soon.
All
In
right.
addition, I volunteer in the local school system and mostly in the schools that are underserved, the Title I schools. I tried to help financially. I tried to help by going in, doing other activities that assist the students, and I also tutor when COVID is challenging. Um, so, and I work in my church,
Okay.
and that pretty much occupies my time. My
You
parents were
staying
not.
busy.
I stay busy.
Well,
No
thank you so
grass grows under my feet.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you being able to be here. LaRue Cunningham, our Volunteer of the Year. Again, congratulations to you for just, being honored, of course, in 2020 from the Alumni Association, but also giving of yourself and of your time and of your energy, all the great things that you're doing in the community. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
All right, we're so grateful for alumnus LaRue Cunningham. Uh, we're going to go to our next honoree. We have another honoree. Let's bring in Michelle Gadsden. Michelle Gadsden, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I I can hear you and I can see you, alumnus of the
Okay.
year. This is Michelle Gadsden, alumnus of the year for 2020. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very, very honored. Was very, very honored and humbled that my chapter thought to nominate me for this award. It's been wonderful.
Now talk to us. Tell us where you're from, what chapter you're from, and when you graduated from North Carolina, what is now North Carolina Central University.
Okay. I am a proud graduate of the class of 1981. I have actually lived now in Ridgeland, South Carolina, having moved here from Upper Marlboro, Maryland last year, right before the pandemic struck, and I have been happily quarantined for the last 13 months. Literally, we moved to South Carolina, and a month later, the pandemic struck. So I've been in my house pretty much for the entire 12 months or so. But I've been meeting regularly with my chapter here, the Coastal South Carolina chapter. And that chapter is small in number, but big in heart. They are trying to do great things for the university, and they do everything that they can to support North Carolina Central University. One of the things that enabled them to nominate me for this award was our work to actually bring the jazz ensemble, excuse me, actually have a scholarship benefit concert for the jazz ensemble in Durham. And we wanted to sponsor that contest because we recognize the importance of the arts and education. We wanted to help the jazz ensemble, but we also wanted to raise as much scholarship dollars as we could for NCCU. We pondered bringing the jazz ensemble to South Carolina, but it was just cost prohibitive. We haven't given up that dream because we would still like to do that in 2022, and we'll work with Dr. Wiggins to make that happen. But barring eliminating the idea of the scholarship fundraiser altogether, we from South Carolina went to Durham. We had a wonderful event in October of 2019. We then followed the jazz ensemble to New York, and I met you in New York for the performance at the Lincoln Center.
Yes.
So we are doing everything that we can to raise scholarship dollars to support as many entities at NCCU as possible. And I am very, very blessed and proud because I believe that NCCU changed the trajectory of my life. I was a Chancellor Scholar when I was at NCCU, and I believe I was one of the first Chancellor Scholars. And that $500 scholarship was like $1 million to a poor kid from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And that scholarship enabled me to actually get an internship that launched my federal government career. And I retired from the federal service in 2018 after 32 years of working with them. And I owe all of that and my success there to my experience at North Carolina Central University. So I try to do everything that I can to support the university. And in my effort to support the university, I've endowed a scholarship of my own to help other deserving students have an opportunity at success and a difference, and have the scholarship pretty much make a difference in their lives.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do. Alumnus of the Year, Michelle Gadsden. Shout out to your chapter and everybody over there who nominated you. You are the Alumnus of the Year. This is that happens sometimes.
It's okay.
That's
all right.
technology. I was just about to give you your round of applause. We're giving her a round of applause. Come on, everybody, round of applause. Come on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. Thank you.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Come on, Alumnus of the Year. Come on, that's goals. Goals, people. Make sure that you join the Alumni Association at nccualumni.org. We'll say that a couple of times during this session together. Let's jump into a couple other of our guests tonight. Let's do Whitney Todd. Let's bring in Whitney Todd. Good evening, Whitney.
Hi.
Representing the class of 2008.
Yes, I am.
All right. Now, talk to us. Where are you? You're a speech pathologist. And
Yes.
Please talk about what you're up to in your life.
Okay. I'm originally from Apex, North Carolina. And I decided to go to Central because of my French teacher in high school, Dr. Shakina Moore, who, I lived in Apex, and there weren't a lot of Black women other than my mother who I was around. And in high school, my French teacher told me that I should look into going to North Carolina Central University. So I went there and received my undergrad degree in psychology. And then in 2010, I received my master's in communication disorders. So I'm a speech language pathologist, and I work with children in the school system to improve their communication skills across all settings.
Shout out to the School of Education. Whoop, whoop. So we heard how NCCU found you. Now it is Women's History Month. Is there someone, I'm going to ask everybody this, but I feel led to ask you now. Tell me a woman in your life or in that you honor and respect, and you were influenced by, I know you said your teacher got you to NCCU. Anyone else?
My mother. My mother has always, she's a strong woman, and throughout life, and I tell my daughter this, to just be you, because when you're you, others will adjust, and if they don't, then they don't matter. And that's something that I've continued to grow and learn every day, with being a Black woman and an adult, that I'm a strong woman, and I know my stuff, and I'm okay with that. And if you love me, you love me. If you don't, then that's cool.
I love that. I love that. How did NCCU prepare you for the career that you're in now, and even this life after NCCU? How are you prepared?
NCCU being an HBCU, it taught me what family looked like. We're all different. We all come from all walks of life, but when we need to have each other's back, we support each other, we rally around each other. So I think if anything, NCCU was, it cultivated me to love on others that are going to love on me back. Since it's a big family, it definitely is a different experience from being at a predominantly white environment and then going to an HBCU. The experience is totally different. So just the brother and sisterhood that you get from being at a HBCU, definitely shaped my ability to navigate my adult world.
All right, Whitney Todd, speech language pathologist representing the class of 2008. Thank you so much for being here. Stick around, please, because we're going to bring everybody back on at the end. But thank you so much for being with us tonight. We honor you.
Thank you. Sure thing. Thank you.
All right, Whitney Todd. Let me bring in, 2008 seems to be dominating today. So let's pull in Heather V. Let's get her in here. We can grab her. Heather, come on, Heather Victoria. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Class of 2008, Heather V, Heather Victoria, recording artist from Jamla Records. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I am class of 2012, though. We gotta run it back. You're trying to give me some years, I see.
And that's what happens. And that's what happens. But representing class of 2012, I'm going to edit that now. But how are you? Congratulations on all your success. Boutique Hotel is a project that you worked on. How is it going?
Thank you so much. It's going really, really well. We had the pandemic last year, so I was only able to tour for the first couple of months with my sister Rhapsody. So the rest of the year I was just pushing it as best that I could. Doing what I could with what I had. But fortunately, I've got a lot of new listeners, made a lot of new fans on tour. I've been able to, make a lot of connections and network throughout this time of, quarantine. And we've been having a lot of fun making new music. So,
well, your career is something that is, flashy. People want to, be a singer, be a celebrity. What would you say to students or people who are watching who are interested in your field? What would you say to them?
I would say if you are creative, go for it. If that's something that is in your heart and it's something that brings you joy is to create, whether that's art, music, photography, have fun with it, be strategic, work smart, and just have a little bit of faith, and you never know what can happen.
Heather V, now, of course, you're a female vocalist with a beautiful voice. And I saw in somewhere I read there, the industry is clouded with R&B divas, if you will, R&B women. Who's another artist that you enjoy as far as vocals is concerned, another female vocalist? Who do you enjoy?
Current artists, I definitely would say her, Victoria Monet, Alex Isley, Jasmine Sullivan. They're killing the game right now. I'm loving all of the beautiful voices. Janae Aiko. It's plenty of beautiful voices out there.
Well, you have to stick around because there's another amazing NCCU Eagle who has an amazing voice as well that you have to meet. And I'm excited to Hook
Oh,
y'all up
yeah.
if y'all have never met before. Yazara, a little bit later on.
Nazara. Oh, yes. Ooh. Salute to the queen. Yes.
One of the realest in the world.
Definitely. I'll
But
make
we're
sure I
so
stick around.
yes, please, and we're so proud of you, and we're so grateful for you and what you do and how you're putting NCCU on and represent us in excellence. So thank you so much for being here. Stick around. We're going to have a bigger conversation. Of course, it's Women's History Month. We want to hear from you about somebody that you honor and respect and love, and we'll do that in a minute. So Heather V from the
Absolutely.
class of 2012.
2012, y'all. You can
All
cry.
right, amplify worldwide. All right, we'll
Every
see you in a
time.
minute. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Heather V. Wow, so great to meet her. I listened to some of her music tonight, and she's amazing. You definitely want to check out Heather V. All right, let's jump in. Oh, my former Miss NCCU is on the line. Let me grab her in here. Queen Candace
Hey,
Jones,
John.
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, last time I saw you, you was in a food truck.
I was in a food truck working hard, trying to support my LSs.
So Candace Jones, class of '03, former Miss NCCU. Also, there's something else I want to say about you. You know, well, just introduce. Oh, you're middle school principal. You're killing the
I
game.
am. I
How's
am.
life? What are you up to? What are some of your passion projects? I'm so interested in hearing.
Well, currently I am a middle school principal. And I am getting ready to reintroduce back the majority of my students into my building. So that has been taking up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy. We are excited to have our students back on site and not in rotations, and giving those students the option of being in on site or virtual academy. So just trying to work on that, making sure that my faculty and staff and the students are ready. But moving forward, I am looking to go back to get my doctoral degree in education.
Come through another School of Education graduate. Let's go. School of Education representing today. What are some of the things in your industry in the education field that you're seeing? What are some of the things that are standing out, specifically during this time of quarantine and everybody's all parents are teachers now, substitute teachers. Some of them very bad. You would probably fire them. Well, what's something that's coming up for you that you've seen consistently over time?
Consistently over time, I have seen teachers stretch themselves in their profession in order to reach students where they are. Of course, during COVID times, it is very difficult. They have been allowed or given the opportunity to individualize instruction a little bit more because of the smaller class sizes, whether hybrid or in person or virtual. But one thing that stays consistent is making sure that we are addressing the achievement gap for a lot of the subgroups that that gap continues to widen. So that's something that we are continuously seeing. And COVID, I think, has reintroduced that and put it at the forefront of what we need to focus on.
And also, I wanted to ask you, as a former Miss NCCU, how important is it to support the university post graduation or post experience on the sloping hills in Inverted Green?
It is very important. Once an eagle, always an eagle. And as Miss NCCU, one of the things that I loved was being able to go out and actively recruit while I was doing my student teaching. I served as one of the faces, as well as those in SGA, to make sure that we were getting our name out there and continuing the growth. That was the big aim for Chancellor Ammons at that particular time. And ever since I graduated in '03, I have been a recruiter unofficially for North Carolina Central University. I taught at E. Smith High School. I recruited as many students as I could. I think I sent a whole class through by the time I finished teaching, and of course throughout my administrative career. So in the school that I am actually a principal in, the former name of it was James E. Shepherd High School. So it's amazing how things come full circle.
So NCCU, Candace Jones said cut a check, because there are plenty of students that came through there because of her direct recruitment efforts. All right, so that
There
message has
were.
been delivered, Principal Jones. All right, so stick around. Thank you. This is Candace Jones, class of 2003, middle school principal and former Miss NCCU and food truck operator, supporter, all of that, all of that.
Supportive.
Support. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to bring you back in a minute once we get our next guest in. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Candace Jones from the golden era. That's what I call it, the Ammons era, the golden era. All right, we're talking about amazing vocalists. We're talking about talent coming from the Sloping Hills and Verdant Greens of NCCU. Let's bring in Yazara. Let me see if I can pull her in. Let's see. I see you here. I see you. I see you. All right, there we go.
Hey.
Yazara. Wow.
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's always a pleasure to see you and to honor you for your gifts and talents and how you represent NCCU. How you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Well, it's
How are you,
Women's History
darling?
Month.
Well, my manners are so bad. I didn't ask you how you were doing. What's going on in your world?
You know, of course, y'all are gonna flip it on me and interview me, of course. Things are good. I could complain, but I won't. But graduation is about 70 days away.
Nice.
So
You ready?
we have 2 School of Education graduates on today, and I'm another one. So excited to get that finished, that chapter done. But as it relates to you, with your new music and all the stuff that you're doing, talk to the people. What's going on? How can they find you? What's new?
So much. So, I just finished this tour with Madonna last year. After spending a lot of different years working with others like Lenny Kravitz, Erykah Badu for 7 years, putting out the Ballad of Miss Purple St. James that came out in 2010. That was the last record that a lot of folks heard from me on. And then I took the last 10 years to work on my most recent release, The Ceremony, and I just released that last month. It's doing very well. I'm very excited about it. And I just did a voiceover for the first all Black animated casted trilogy of female pharaohs. So
I was there.
yes. So now it's actually going to be a comic book series and an animated series before the movie is released. So I just had to do all my voiceovers for that recently for the first trailer, and I'm just throwing myself into all my projects. I have a duets album coming out called MI7, My Infinite Heaven. A table book and vinyl coming out this summer, and getting back to work with these performances. So lots is happening while being grateful I'm alive.
Yeah, because you were,
yes.
If you want to disclose, you had COVID-19. Glad that you were able to, and you were working at the time. So it was like,
yes.
How was that?
I contracted what we know now, what we didn't know then, what we know now to have been COVID. And I got the granddaddy version, lymph nodes swollen, head burning, heart burning, chest. It left me in a situation. I'm one of those people that they call the long haulers. So I had to completely reset my lymphatic system because my body had to fight so hard to basically keep me going because I had to keep performing while trying to recuperate. Most people take their medicines and they're laying down, but I had to keep working. But that's the nature of the business. And the show did go on for 3 months, 2 of which I was battling symptoms of COVID and in a production with 40 other people, where everybody kept catching what we know now to have been different versions of it. And I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm recuperating well. And I was going to push the record back, but I felt like it was really important to drop these messages right now while people really needed them. Because the record to me is kind of like, Rocky music to get you up and going, and also to get you looking inside, while people are sitting down at home for the first time, some of them in years, having an opportunity to go inward. I wanted my record to be a part of that process.
I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you're doing well. I know that you had mentioned something about voiceovers. Were you talking about The Wiz then?
I did The Wiz, but this is something different. So
okay.
I got cast 2 years ago in what will be the first action adventure trilogy about all the female pharaohs who historically ruled Europe, but it's actually going to be an action adventure series, and I play the goddess Sekhmet. So I morph into a lion. I get fight scenes, and I was training with like a real martial artist before I started going out with Madonna, because I was like, that's an opportunity of a lifetime too. I'm going to do that, and I'll come back and I'll film. But COVID kind of changed our plans, and so they pivoted, which was amazing, which is what this time is all about. Sometimes you got to pivot. And they decided to do a comic book and to do an animated series based upon the movies to give us time to be able to get back into filming and to get everybody well and to make sure everybody is doing protocols when we start filming again. So I'm excited. I just did my first animated voiceover this summer. I also sung a theme song for what's going to be a remake of a very special anime that I can't talk about yet. But, you know, I'm excited to be doing all the things I wrote down 3 years ago that I wanted to be doing. And it just says a lot about writing it down, making it plain, and then putting the energy and the faith and the work in. Put your head down, do the work.
Yeah, and congratulations. I was mentioning The Wiz, Yazra, on Clubhouse. It was made exclusively for, and you were, what was your character on The Wiz?
I was Dorothy. I always wanted to play Dorothy. And
it was incredible to hear.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. And also making history in the first audio version of The Wiz. And what, you know, the funny thing about Clubhouse, people have a lot to say about it. I think that it has a lot more positives than it does negatives, specifically for the artistic space. Because there's so many people who are talented who never get in the room, who never get seen, who never get heard. And on Clubhouse, you know, I've become hip to some most incredible performers, creators, screenwriters, songwriters, producers, who I would never have been able to pay attention to because of how saturated the internet is if we hadn't been in Clubhouse together in this curated environment. And some of the people who were in performance with me are like the other Dorothy was a housewife who'd given up, you know, music to help raise her new child. And she was singing Dorothy and was incredible. And so it was this just really great opportunity to tell this, what I believe to be a love story to our people. The Wiz, that was first done in a production in Baltimore, a place where time forgot, and then brought to us in film by Diana Ross and who other than Michael Jackson, you know, to remind us to find our own legend and to be strong. And I was just really excited to be able to interpret that character for everybody.
It was incredible. Congratulations to you. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to bring, this is Yazra. Amazing. Check out her new project. Check out all the stuff as it comes out. Follow her everywhere on Instagram. She's doing it.
Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Please check it out. And next month, I'm going to do a tribute to Prince on the anniversary of his passing. So I'll have some information about that out soon. I'm also doing a Clubhouse tour. So if you're on Clubhouse and you have a room that you would like for me to come to, I'm telling the story of how I made this record happen despite all the odds and things against me. But if you just want me to sing, I'll come sing. But if you want me to tell my story of empowerment, I'm here to do that and to perform. And so folks can hit me in my DMs, or you can email me at purplebookings@gmail.com, and I'll put you on the calendar and I'll come sing to you.
Goes down in the DMs, Yazra.
It goes down in the DMs.
I want to bring in Heather V, so you at least can know Heather V if you don't already know her. I want to bring her in. Heather V, are you?
How are you? I'm doing well. So nice to see your face.
Good to see you again. It's been a minute. I think the last time
it has been so long. I'm trying to get my lighting right. It has been
okay. I'm around here.
I'm so glad to see you doing well, and I can't wait to check out your new record. Thank you for sharing your beautiful gift with us, and so happy to see your face.
Well, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm just excited about your purpose. And if you ever need a pen, if you need somebody to write for you, if you need somebody to arrange, you know, I always wished that some of the voices that I grew up on, that I loved, were in a space, in a place that they wanted to mentor, but such a scarcity narrative kept a lot of Black women from working together in the way that all of the other forces and collectives that we love did. And I'm really trying to bridge a new gap this year and working with artists that I love. So I'm actually doing a record right now with all of the young singers that I love. Because I'm 42 now, so I can do that. That's legacy shit. Ooh, pardon me.
Right.
Pardon me, alumni.
Big
But it's about doing that and creating an idea of abundance in places where people once thought there was scarcity. And I really love your voice, and I've always loved your energy and what you're doing for our people simply by being yourself. So please hit me up, tag me.
I will do that, and I will for sure hit you up. I look forward to working on a new record. So I appreciate this right now so much. I'll be in touch
Absolutely.
very soon.
We
And
had
send
to
me everything
we
you're working on with your record so I can plug my folks into you. So let me
Would
know.
love to. Would
we
love
had
to.
to
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
we had to do an exclusive with the artists that are killing the game. Now that we've done the artists, let's bring in the educators. Let's do Principal Candace Jones, and also
Pardon me,
speech language
Candice.
pathologist Whitney Todd. Let's bring her in as well. Try to get everybody in here. Is everybody in? Okay, Whitney, we got to get Whitney in. Hold on, where's Whitney? I think I'm going slow here. Can you also see me?
Yes.
See you.
Okay, Whitney, we're gonna get you in. I'm waiting on this to. Something's happening with my computer. All right, we're gonna get y'all in. I got to get Whitney in. But while we're doing this, I'm having some issues. But it's Women's History Month. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's Women's History. Let's talk about it. We're at time, but we're going to extend it just a little bit because I want to acknowledge Women's History Month. I want you to just let us know at least one person that you honor, love, and respect, whether it's someone in history and legacy, maybe someone in your family. It's up to you. Let's start with Yazara. Who do you love, admire, and respect?
Besides my mother, who graduated summa cum laude, had a baby when she was told she couldn't, and is a 26-year educator, Cicely Tyson, who was a single mother when she started her career and who always managed to wear her crown and never let that thing tilt until the very end. And she's one of the women that I honor along with my mother.
Excellent. Thank you. Candace Jones.
I would have to say, of course, my mom, but the one other woman I would like to honor and that I admire dearly would be my younger sister, Kristen Jones. She is a single mother of three. She is my best friend. She is my soror. She is my sister. She is my rock. She is my everything. And I feel like she embodies a drive and an ambition and grind that I admire and will always admire.
Indeed, indeed. Shout out to sis. All right, Heather V.
All right. Other than my mother, who is a phenomenal songstress and has done many plays in her time, and my grandmother, who is also my best friend, and she'll be 87 in May.
Wow.
Other than those two queens in my life, I would have to honor my cousin. Her name is Amber Cole. She is a phenomenal social worker, a graduate of Fayetteville State University, and she currently is getting her PhD at FIU. She's a phenomenal woman, a single mom of two boys who are my god kids, and I just want to give a shout out to Amber Cole.
Absolutely. Shout out. Shout out. We've got Whitney Todd joining us now. Whitney, thank you for being here. Is there a woman in your life, a woman in history that you admire this Women's History Month?
Well, I shouted out my mom, so of course my mom, but I want to shout out all of the women in my life who play an important role in helping me be the Whitney I am today, from my mom to my aunts to my cousins to my sister-in-laws to my mother-in-law, all those women who contribute to me every day to help me be the Whitney I am.
All right. Well, let's bring in Alumnus of the Year, Michelle Gadsden. Hey, Michelle, what about you?
Well, the most important woman in my life, of course, is my mother. But my mother is a role model for me because she attended college when she was 28 years old and had 5 children. And I was the oldest of those 5, and I was 10 at that time. She was the first person in her family to attend college because that just was not something that my family did or aspired to. I watched her struggle. I watched her work a full-time job while she maintained her family, while she went to college and earned her degree. So I'm very, very, very thankful for her and very, very proud of her. But at NCCU, the woman who really had the greatest impact on my life was Nancy Rowland, who at that time was the director of admissions. And Miss Rowland she saw something in me because she took me on recruiting trips with her. And I remember going on a recruiting trip with her to the Norfolk Scope, and that opened up an entire world for me. So my mother and Nancy Rowland were key role models in my life.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Wow, Nancy Rowland. That's a great. I'm so glad you said her name. That invigorates, gives me chills to hear about her legacy still at NCCU. Lastly, let's bring in Alumnus LaRue Cunningham, who is the Volunteer of the Year. LaRue, how about you? I know you said it before.
My mother and my grandmothers, because like our illustrious alumnus of the year, my mother went back to school when I was in fourth grade, and the grandmothers stepped in to take care of the granddaughters, all of whom are Eagles. And of course, the wonderful, wonderful ladies who have broken glass ceilings, and of course, our current Vice President of the United States. We must all salute her. And ladies, I think I'm the senior in this group of illustrious women. I salute all of you.
Oh,
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
You.
Yes, so that's happy Women's History Month from EAN, from NCCU Live. I think LaRue said in the chat, it'd be great if some of the artists visit some of our local chapters. So maybe we can do some tour dates, go into some of our local chapters, some of our artist Eagles. So thank you so much, LaRue, for that comment. All right, we're shutting this down. We're grateful to have all of you ladies here. It's a great day to be an NCCU Eagle. Remember that an Eagle is no common, ordinary barnyard fowl.
That's
We want to thank all of you for being here. Oh, before we go, it's time for the Eagles Give Challenge. Eagles Give Challenge. That's my microphone. You heard that? You heard the echo? So we want people to go to eaglesgive.com and make a recurring gift to the university. Of course, join the Alumni Association at nccualumni.org, and then go to eaglesgive.com to make a recurring gift to the university. So that's eaglesgive.com. So I'm going to go around. Heather V, will you join the Alumni Association and make a recurring gift to the university?
Absolutely.
Candace Jones, will you join the Alumni Association if you haven't already? But you have to do that to get on the show and make a recurring gift to the university.
yes.
Thank you. LaRue, Alumni Volunteer of the Year. I know you probably already got a recurring gift, but will you give to the university?
I just sent a few pennies.
All right, Michelle Gadsden, will you give?
I
More?
give on a regular basis. I give on a regular basis.
You heard me say more real quick.
Yes, I will give more. I will give more because I owe everything that I am to NCCU. So I'll do everything that I can to support.
All right, Whitney Todd, will you give?
Yes.
All right, so that's the Eagles Give Challenge. We love to make it fun, but we're serious. For NCCU to remain and to sustain and to thrive, we must give, and the alumni must come together and give, no matter what your experience was, no matter where you're from, no matter where you are. Give $19.10 every month. Give $19.10 every week if you can. You know, do whatever is good for you. Make it a part of your home planning. Put it in the budget. There's so many opportunities. If you're doing your will or your estate planning, you can actually put NCCU as a beneficiary to your death benefit. I mean, you can do all of that. There's so many things. If you have questions, definitely let me know. I can give you the rundown. All right, that's it. Join us next time on NCCU Live. Thank y'all for being here, ladies. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that's it, guys.